Hey, I'm John Michael Craze. We have Michael, Haley, Catherine, Taylor, Emma, and Reed, your group 5. We have a short video on effective communication while working in groups. Hope you enjoy.
Alright, so now we're going to interview some of our peers here on campus, and we're going to see what people think really is important when it comes to working in a group.
Does there need to be a solid trust fund?
I think you need to trust your members, because if you don't want to have members that you do all the work for.
Right.
So,
which accountability?
Yeah.
If you're assigned something, you got to get done.
Yeah. It's like with your future job. If you're assigned something, you have to have it done.
Trust issues. Trust issues. Trust issues. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But some people can just not do the work that you need them to do, and it's a group effort since it's group work.
What sucks about it?
Having to depend on others to get stuff done, because you don't have you can't control if they're gonna do it or not.
Put the time in. Trust issues.
Do you think it is to have goals?
I think it's very important to have goals. Like, for example, with my roommates right now, we were best friends last year, but it's kind of started to become chaos cleaning-wise. So we thought we were going to be each person cleans up after themselves, but it's not working, and everyone started to think that they themselves do all the work. So we're thinking of creating a cleaning schedule so that we can, get along better and not hate each other at the end of the year.
Yeah, so having that schedule would really give you each objectives to finish and kind of make your apartment cleaner.
Cleaner and friendlier environment is closet. Goals when working within an organization is extremely important to direct efforts, ensure task completion, and maximize performance. A significant relationship has been found between group goals and group performance. Additionally, setting challenging goals may promote team effectiveness as it allows members to identify exactly what needs to be accomplished and how much effort is needed.
How would you describe effective group communication?
Okay, effective group communication would be if you meet up somewhere and this is hard.
So have you done many group projects throughout your days?
A couple.
Couple? What'd you think about it?
Mainly just team building exercises.
What do you think would be the most important thing to have within a group? Like quality? Cooperation.
An effective group is one that reaches its conclusions after considering a wide range of ideas and has all members contributing to those ideas. Sharp also suggests that in order for a group to meet its potential, all members must feel comfortable and responsible while exchanging ideas, assuring every member participates.
The biggest downfall you think?
The biggest downfall is not being able to find a common ground. You got a lot of people who have different ideas, and sometimes it's hard for everyone to come to an agreement, but that's part of what the group is figuring out.
Yeah.
How would you describe effective group communication?
Not arguing with each other, not being too controlling, but making sure everyone has an understanding of what they have to do to make the project go successful.
Establishing specific roles for team members is an essential element that many groups sometimes overlook, and research by Dieter, Smeltz, and Ramsey notes that successful teams require each member to have a clear understanding of the role and how that role will impact the team overall. And also, roles may be established collectively by team members, establishing the team leader. And in 2012, Browning suggests that clear roles were a key factor in fostering individual ownership and accountability in the group.
Helpful if they gave you a manual that explains how you work in a group?
Yeah, helpful.
To be honest, I probably wouldn't do that.
Yes, I think using manuals are helpful.
Do you think when you
groups that it would be helpful if you were given a manual or like some set of guidelines to follow?
Not really.
Like, what would be something that you might run into that you think a manual could be helpful for, or maybe just like you think it wouldn't really be helpful with?
I mean, for the most part, we just kind of have to figure it out ourselves. But
When you work with a group, has anyone ever like sat down and told you how to work in a group, or is it kind of just like a free-for-all?
No one's ever sat down and been like, this is how you need to work in a group setting. It's always kind of been like, here's the project, here's your group, do it.
Yeah.
So,
do you think it'd be easier if you had a manual or just like something to follow that kind of says like, this is what's important, this is what you need to do?
sometimes I feel like that's kind of like reaching a little bit, like that's not really like possible, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I feel like delegating tasks is really good if like you trust.
What do you do when conflict happens?
Well, you gotta, confront them about it, really talk about it, because if you don't say anything, nothing's gonna happen. So, and if they're real combative, it's probably good to go to the professor and tell them, like, I tried talking to them, but they're not really working out.
If you could name one thing that's the most important ingredient to a good group, what would it be?
Probably just teamwork.
Teamwork?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever had a conflict in a group that was just really hard to meet the goal?
Yeah, when people like don't answer their text messages or anything like that, they don't come to any of the things we're trying to put together.
What do you think within that process is the number one, like, most important thing to have?
Just share like the amount of work everyone has to do.
Right.
Don't let everyone do or someone do everything.
And what if you run into problems? Like, how do you work through those?
Just being confrontational, just bringing up something.
In a study conducted in 2013, they found that within conflict, one of the biggest issues is the interpersonal conflict. This basically is any conflict within a group that's between two or more people. These different conflicts can come from anything from differing goals, different expectations, values, culture, and even the means which you want to resolve some differences. In another study done in 2011, it was found that task conflicts were the ones that could in turn be the most beneficial for a group. Within these task conflicts, there are conflicts such as decision making and different things that don't have to do with individual problems. And the best way to go about these is to be engaged and to make sure that everybody is communicating in order to be able to come up with a good, just like a clear idea of where to go from the conflict, and then actually those task conflicts can help strengthen your group after y'all can work through them.
Okay, so I'm going to be doing a recap of the 5 things that we thought were most important in doing group work. First is trust. I know it is hard to trust people. It's a big thing, but it's very important when working with a group. To be able to reach that trust and to be able to rely on your partners, you should first establish a relationship with your group members so that you do feel more comfortable trusting them. Second is goals. It's important to set goals. It helps a lot with your organization. Not only should you set group goals, but you should set individual goals as well. And that way, you'll know what thing needs to be done by what time, and it'll relieve a lot of stress for you and your group. Third is communication. Without communication, it's almost impossible to work with a group. If you have ideas, share them. If you have problems, share them. If something's going on, and without proper communication, it's almost impossible to work with a group, and we all know that. 4 is roles. If you're a leader, then lead. If you're a follower, then ask what you can do to help. If you're talented in certain areas or have experience with certain things, then you should step up and take part and do those things. If you're not comfortable with the role that someone has assigned you, you need to say that and find one that better suits you. Don't be afraid to do that. 5, resolving conflict. First of all, you need to be mature about it. Address issues as early as possible to prevent stress for you and your group. As you can see on campus when we were interviewing people, a lot of people really don't know how to work with a group or the proper way to go about it. That's why a lot of people get frustrated when they're randomly assigned a group project and it's due the next week. It's really not that hard as long as you follow these 5 steps and the 5 points that we have addressed today, and hopefully it helps you for your future group work.
We're gonna skate to one song only.